welcome to the Revere Veterans Community Show. Today we have two special guests from the city of Lynn. Sister Linda, glad
Hello.
to have you here.
Thank you.
And Alicia Dell'Orfano, glad
Nice
to
to
have
meet
you
you.
here. Sister Linda, could you tell them a little about yourself?
Sure. About myself or the coalition?
The coalition
All
and
right,
your school,
sure.
under your school where you graduated from.
Oh, gee. Well, I very fortunately graduated from Emmanuel College, as that was my first degree to have a background in elementary school teaching. I taught for quite a few years, primary grades, and for my master's, I knew it had to be something in justice work, so I went to Maryknoll School of Theology.
And about your organization.
And our organization, all right, Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless. Our main purpose for existing since 1981 here is to eradicate homelessness, and we best do that by homelessness prevention. We have direct service through our furniture bank of meeting some immediate needs of people who are struggling to survive. Education about the issue, and then another very important aspect is advocating for long-term just solutions to end homelessness.
Thank you, Sister
You're
Linda.
welcome.
And now you.
My name is Alicia
Dell'Orfano.
Dell'Orfano, and I am a recent graduate of Salem State University. I graduated in May, and I came on board over the summer to the coalition to develop and oversee their new initiative, A Bed for Every Child. And that launched in 2011, and through A Bed for Every Child, the coalition is distributing new beds to school-age children who are living in poverty.
Right, and the organization is called the Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless.
Yes, and A Bed for Every Child is an initiative, one of our many programs at the coalition.
Right, thank you both. Now
Yeah,
I have
thank
a load of questions for you.
Okay.
And we'll start with you first, Alicia.
Okay.
What prompted the coalition to start A Bed for Every Child? What made you do that?
Okay, well, A Bed for Every Child launched when a coalition advocate that was at one of the public schools in Lynn was told that many of the children were coming to school exhausted and sleeping on the floor or with a parent or sibling. And so we realized that there was a significant need for beds in the community, and we wanted to help the students get the best education that they possibly could, and we thought that beds would be a good solution.
Right, thank you. Now, Sister Linda, the next question is for you.
Okay.
How is that related to the numbers who are homeless? I mean, for the people that are homeless.
Well, right now, as of last week, there were close to 3,400 families
Wow.
who do not have a home of their own. And you figure with at least two children in each of those families, that would bring it to more than 6,800 children or so, rounding off those numbers. This does not count the numbers of families who are being turned away every day because they first have to prove they've been in a place not fit for human habitation. That's one of the requirements now, and that's what we're actually trying to change. We actually had a mom in our office this morning, trying to figure out what she and her 6-year-old could do.
Before you came here.
Yes, that's what greeted me as I came into to work this morning.
Okay.
We also have quite a few, although this is being reduced each day, approximately 1,263 families in motels, and that's because the state is trying to meet the local needs of, especially if there are no shelter openings, that has been a trend that is also being reduced each day.
Right, thank you,
That's
sister.
expensive.
Thank you. Now, the next question is to you, Alicia. How many beds has the coalition distributed since it's been launched?
The coalition has distributed, I want to say, about 1,000 beds since it launched in 2011,
Wow.
which is awesome.
That's yes.
It really is.
That's Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, Sister Linda.
Yes.
Next question for you, ma'am.
Okay.
Tell us about the coalition's different initiatives.
Oh, different initiatives. Okay. Well, definitely we have a bed for every child. We have the HomeLink initiative. That is our homeless prevention program. If we can prevent people from falling off the edge into homelessness, that is much, much better. It's less expensive. So what we do is have one example is through the Lynn Neighborhood Community Health Center. We have help desk so that anyone coming in for an appointment or even not for an appointment who has a basic need of whether it's for trying to access food stamps, or if there's a housing issue, or if there is like a basic need for furniture or a winter coat, then the advocate who staffs that desk would be able to assist, hopefully.
Right.
You know,
Thank
so
you.
that's a very important initiative. We also have outreach through the North Shore Infant and Toddlers Program, and that actually goes into houses who, with a department worker from the Department of Public Health. And that also is a way of helping families who might be struggling for whatever reason. Again, housing stabilization is just so important.
Right. Thank you,
So
Sister.
those are two of them, anyways.
And now for you, Alicia.
Okay.
Where have they been distributed? Where have they been distributed, the beds and things?
Okay, we've distributed beds, and like I said, initially the program started off in Lynn, and we distributed hundreds of beds in Lynn, and then we moved on to Boston, and we continue to serve people in Lynn and Boston, but as of just last week, at the beginning of March, we distributed 50 beds in Worcester through the Central Mass Housing Alliance's Donations Clearinghouse, and we distributed 50 beds in Springfield through HAP Housing.
Right. And I want to continue with you on another
Okay.
question, Alicia. Why do you think there is such a need for beds? Because do any of them ever sleep on the floor?
Yes, there are several children who are sleeping on the floor. There are a lot of children who are doubled up with their siblings, and we have a lot of cases where they're sleeping with their parents, and they're just not able to get a solid education. You can't come to school being able to perform your best when you haven't slept well the night before. So, do you have anything to add to that,
Right.
Linda?
Yes. I remember talking to a mom. Now this was June, so you figure June is the end of the school year. And she was inquiring, oh, when is my child, my second grader, who's been sleeping in bed with me, when are we going to get this new bed? So I said, well, I don't know, but I'll put you through to the person who can have that information. And I asked, how long has this been going on? And she said, too long. So the idea is, who would have thought that providing a new bed through this initiative is a basic tool for helping kids succeed in school. If they're ready to learn, having a good night's sleep, that is just so important. So why not?
I just want to ask you one question, if I may. The beds that you're looking for, do they have to be brand new or they can be used?
Well, we have a partnership with Sleep Inc., and we provide the beds. Everything is completely new.
Okay.
And
Very good.
And so we're looking for bedding and other financial resources. But to go along with that, our Furniture Bank program, through our Furniture Bank, we accept used beds as long as they're in good condition. And there's always a need for beds in the Furniture Bank.
Right.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Next question goes to you, Sister Linda.
Okay.
What does the coalition do for people experiencing homelessness throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
Okay. Well, we try to direct them to a local agency. For example, if someone calls from the Cape and saying, "Oh, what do I do?" I would then look up some of our partner agencies that would be on the Cape, or if they have a need of shelter. I mean, we have a whole listing of where shelters would be. Right now, I'm trying to assist a woman who is just had her birthday on Sunday, 42 years old, and she is struggling to keep her apartment. So trying to find $1,200 for her. So, and I think I'll probably be writing a grant, or I know that there are other folks that she can approach through the agencies that would be near her. So it would be in that way.
That would be good.
Yes. Okay.
Continuing
Sure.
with that question, I'd like to
right.
ask you for you.
Yeah.
This is for Sister Linda
Sure.
too. Are there any public policy campaigns that you are working on to try to get all the goods for the
Yes.
people?
Yes. Well, the best way to end homelessness, of course, is to provide basic, affordable housing for people. The answer is right in the word itself, you know. And if we can provide the housing supports that will keep people housed, that is so critical. So right now I can talk about two programs that advocacy work that we're doing regarding the families that are looking for emergency family shelter. We are actually trying to amend the line item language so that the Department of Housing and Community Development would be required to place eligible families who are at imminent risk of having to stay in a place not fit for human habitation. That can be an emergency room in a hospital, it can be in their car, it can be in an abandoned building. I mean, all of these situations. It could be at a bus station. I mean, we've had these kind of situations. So we're trying to amend that line item language. Another initiative, we just filed a bill called an act providing housing and support services for unaccompanied homeless youth. That's House Bill 135. And that is going to be a specific act that will be geared towards the approximately 6,000 unaccompanied, that means no adults on their own, youth and young adults from between the ages of 14 to 24. There are very few adolescent shelters that would meet the needs of this particular population. We were very fortunate to have gained 63 sponsors in the state legislature for this bill, so that means a lot of support. One of the things that is going to be forthcoming as a result of this bill, there's a special commission on unaccompanied homeless youth. And in a couple of weeks, there's going to be a very significant report coming from this commission that will direct the state legislature into terms of what needs to be funded. So I think initially we'd like $500,000 to be funded through the Executive Office of Health and Human Services in their line item, and that's going to really make a big difference. And I think this report that is going to be coming out before the end of March is going to be very significant in terms of setting the path that the state needs to take.
Very good.
We just had a couple of weeks ago the Massachusetts Interagency Council on Housing and Homelessness came with a plan to end homelessness among veterans. And I think
that's
with
the Valor Act,
that's
I believe.
right. So with this bill, we want to end homelessness among this particular population.
And I agree with you, Sister Linda. Could you tell them if they want to donate money or if they want to donate beds or equipment, where they can send it to? Could you do that?
Absolutely.
Please do.
Sure. If you would like to donate any used furniture. We're always looking for sets of dishes, household products, tables and chairs, couches, that's right, thank you. Please call the Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless at 781-595-7570 and speak to Albany at extension 13, I believe. And she will line up the truck that we have to actually go to your home to pick up those items.
So
That
they
would
will
be
pick it up
wonderful.
at their home, so they
Yes.
don't have to do anything, bring
Right.
anything, just call you.
If you want to bring stuff by, we are located at 15 Bouvier Street in Lynn, right off of 1A, right before the Clock Tower Business Center. Sure.
Thank
So
you.
Could
why
do
don't we
that as
repeat
well.
that? So the phone number is 781-595-7570, and the address of the coalition is 15 Bouvier, Bubeier Street in Lynn, and the zip code is 01901.
Thank you,
Always helps.
Alicia.
Yeah,
Now I
thank
got
you.
some
Right.
questions for you.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
How many people ask for beds for their children each week, roughly, approximately?
Yeah, well, it definitely varies, but we get a lot of requests for beds. We get at least, in Lynn alone, we get requests for around like 20 to 30 a month, I can say.
That ask for beds?
Yes, for their
Wow.
children, at least. Yeah.
Okay. And the next question for you, Sister Linda. How can people get their places of faith involved? In other words, the church,
All right.
synagogues, the mosque.
Sure, right. Well, we know that homelessness is a moral issue. And one of the common principles that each person of faith would have, hopefully, would be the principle of justice. So I think the social action, you have two shoes, I always say. One for charity, to give donations, monetary donations, such as to a bed for every child. And then you have the justice or working for systemic change. So, for example, I'll be asking the church that I'll be preaching at this Sunday to come to our forum in the afternoon, North Shore Voices to End Homelessness Forum. And there'll be a postcard to sign on the issue of families who have been denied emergency shelter. And in other words, asking the legislator to put in that line item the imminent risk factor.
Oh, I see.
So that is definitely one thing. We have volunteer opportunities that some of faith communities actually come to the coalition to volunteer. You can give more input on that.
And
for
we also
example.
have
Yes.
our holiday baked goods project
Yes.
that we run basically November and December.
Yes,
And we have a lot of churches that participate in that too. But we have a partnership with Dancing Deer, and we sell the Dancing Deer products such as brownies, cookies, cakes, and the proceeds all benefit a bed for every child.
Right.
Before-
Currently, right now, we actually have some faith communities that have designated the Lenten offering for a bed for every child. So, especially where it costs $250 for each bed. We have schools involved. We have some faith communities that will be giving us this special assistance. So we're just so grateful.
Yeah.
Another project is back to school supplies. We will collect those around the clock, really, all year long, because that will always be a need. And then with a concerted effort, especially in the month of August and September, to distribute them.
Good. Alicia, the next two, by the way, I want to say it's nice to see a young lady like you doing
Yes.
volunteer work like this.
Thank you.
At our senior center, we're all over 60 to do it. But I mean, to see someone young is excellent.
Thank you.
And the next two questions are for you. How can people get their offices involved?
Well, I know a lot of offices run a matching gift program. So if someone was to make a donation, they should absolutely check with their office to see if they would be willing to match it, because it would obviously double the donation amount, which is huge. And then we also have some offices that have done a jeans day. So some offices might charge their employees $5, and on a Friday they will pay $5 and be able to wear jeans, and the proceeds will benefit A Bed for Every Child. And we're also looking, you could wear red. We have a Wear Red for a Bed campaign, and a lot of schools have participated in this, and it's been a great way to raise awareness too, because occasionally Linda has gone on to speak to schools, and I have too. So
Very good.
Yeah.
And now I got another question
Okay.
for you. Tell us about your involvement with unaccompanied homeless youth.
Actually, Linda, I think, can take that question.
Yeah. Well, unaccompanied homeless youth comes around through our understanding of the work through the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed. This time of year, it's probably taken place sometime this week, as students take the MCAS test. There is given every other year, and this is one of those years, a survey to look at at-risk behaviors. One of the questions on that survey is, where did you stay last night? And that's where there was an estimation of the numbers of close to 6,000 students and young adults. And this is just the kids that we have not dropped out of school. So that's what we became aware of, and that's why we filed this bill, House Bill 135.
Okay, here's a question for you, Sister Linda. What type of phone calls do you usually get?
Oh, anywhere from, I'm homeless now, what do I need to do to get into shelter, or I need help with finding my back rent, where would I find that, or I need fuel assistance, is there a food pantry nearby that I would be able to connect with. So we're fortunate enough to have, because it's the Massachusetts Coalition, that we have a number of agencies and organizations that we can also call upon, and we're in partnership with.
Okay, and this is for Sister Linda.
All right.
What can you tell us about your furniture bank?
The furniture bank.
bank,
Okay. Every year we give out, and I want to read this because I always mix up my numbers. Each year, over $3.5 million worth of furniture and household goods are collected and distributed to thousands of households who are of low income or who are moving out of shelter into their new home. And the Furniture Bank provides a valuable service. We have one truck that will actually go around and pick up your furniture, and that makes a big difference. I believe we see about 8 households a day.
Yeah, we do.
On average, 8 a day. I know when we left this morning, there were at least 3 or 4 people in the lobby waiting to.
And people are so appreciative of the assistance,
yeah,
because,
right.
I mean, imagine walking into your house, getting, finally getting into an apartment, and then thinking, oh my gosh, I have to furnish this. How am I going to do this? It costs a lot of money to furnish a house. So.
Right. There was one woman who has a beautiful, beautiful practice, and it's of making these welcome baskets. So, and you never know when she's going to be coming in. She's actually from Winthrop, and to be able to give out a welcome basket with like dish towels, some soap or something in this beautifully decorated basket. And I'm sure now that Easter is coming, there'll be Easter baskets arriving. To even give that to a family, they are just so touched.
I got to
Really
tell you,
touched.
Sister Linda,
Yeah.
talking about that special woman, I think we got one coming in right now.
All right.
And it's from my senior center, Lois Diamond. Come right on, Lois.
Okay.
Hi, Lois.
Alicia. Hi.
Alicia,
Nice to meet you.
Sister Linda.
Nice to
meet
meet
you,
you.
Lois.
Hi.
She's the director of activities, at the
all
senior
right.
center. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yes.
brought some.
I have some more blankets.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate the
much.
visit that you gave us a
Thank
couple
you.
of weeks ago.
Yes.
When you saw all my seniors there, and these are some more of their blankets. These ones, just so people know, even if you can't knit, a lot of these people like to draw. And they draw like welcoming flowers, and spring is coming, believe it or
Right.
not, even though there's
I
snow
know, it's
out there.
Show it right on television.
So we have some beautiful things, and these blankets are done by our seniors. We have some that just color them, then we have somebody else who will stitch them and put them onto the felt blankets. So we wanted to share them
And you
with you.
donated just a couple weeks ago. They
3
donated
boxes,
75.
75
Wow.
blankets, and that is all.
Yeah, they go to
They're
a
all
bed for
made
every
with love
child.
because
Yeah.
our seniors love doing it
That's
for
It
people
was
and we
wonderful.
know. So
We're very appreciative. Thank
like
you
to
so
give
much.
you them. And I also have some hats because you said there was a need for children's hats.
Yes.
You can always, when you have families, I'm sure they can always use hats. So
Absolutely.
this is some of the
Wow.
work that
Beautiful.
my
Oh,
seniors
nice.
do at our
Beautiful.
senior center.
Oh,
Thank you
Very
so
nice.
much. Isn't this
Just
adorable?
great.
The colors.
Oh,
So
yes,
very,
yeah.
very nice. So
Thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
are
thank
very
you for all
grateful.
the work you're doing
Yeah,
because
thank
we know you're trying to reach out to people, and that's what we're all about, reaching out to
Absolutely.
everybody. So
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very
Thank you
much.
very
God
much.
bless.
That's you. Let's give her a big hand.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Lois,
Lois.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
seeing you.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
see
Right.
you too.
Good luck.
Come again.
Yep. Thank you for bringing it up. When you mentioned that lady coming in, and then coincidentally, another lady comes in.
Beautiful.
That was
Beautiful.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
got a
she's
couple of more
wonderful.
questions before
Sure.
we close.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And what I would like to ask, Alicia, what makes up a bed, really?
A bed, we distribute a complete bed to the children in mattress, box spring frame, and
Blankets and pillows?
we collect like Lois, how great she was. We collect blankets, pillows, all the linens, everything that goes on top of the bed through drives. And I mean, we're always looking for those, and we're looking for twin size and full size.
Okay, Sister Linda, before we close, I'd like to ask you 2 questions, if I may,
I'll try.
and
Go ahead.
then I'll ask you one.
Okay.
All right.
Can you tell us, well, you did mention about the furniture bank. How can people help out with your furniture bank?
Okay. Just when you are going through a spring cleaning, today's the first day of spring, even though there's snow outside, think of the Mass Coalition for the Homeless. And instead of putting it out on the sidewalk, think of giving us a call and setting up an appointment to have the truck come by and pick it up. That would be huge. That really
Alicia?
would.
Thank you, Sister. And this
Sure.
is for you. Can you think of a particular person that you have helped?
Yes, one of the kids that we've helped, his name is Miguel, and he's from Lynn, and we helped him when we first started the program. And what happened was he came to school after February vacation, and his teacher noticed that he wasn't acting like himself, and found out shortly after that he had been sleeping on the floor because his family had to get rid of their mattresses because the house had an infestation of bed bugs. So fortunately, through the partnership with the school, we learned that he needed the beds. So he got the referral in, and we gave him a new bed.
Very good.
Yeah.
And before we end, I got one question for you and then one question for you, and we'll start with you first, Alicia. Do you have any upcoming events for a bed for every child? Any events coming up?
We do. On April 25th, which is a Thursday night from 5:30 to 7:30, we're going to be partnering with a boutique in Marblehead called She, and it's located on 86 Washington Street, and we're going to be having a 10% night. So you will get 10% off of your purchase, and 10% of the proceeds will go towards a bed for every child. Now, starting in April 1st, we're going to have a raffle at the boutique for a $100 gift card. The owner has generously donated, and we're going to be collecting, selling the raffle tickets throughout the month of April, and we'll pick the raffle that night on April 25th at the event, and that will also help us raise money to go towards the beds.
For the Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless, could you tell them just one more time where to send the donations and beds if they want to be picked up, how to get the information across?
Oh, sure. If you would like to send us a monetary donation, please make it out to the Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless. We are located at 15 Boubier Street, B-U-B-I-E-R Street in Lynn. If you would like to donate furniture or household products, please give us a call at 781-595-7570, and Albany is the staff person at extension 13 that will set up the pickup appointment for the truck to go.
Right, Sister Linda.
All
Thank
right.
you for coming.
Bless.
And
Thank
Alicia,
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much
not
for
only
having
coming here,
me.
but for coming to the Senior Center.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to do
Right.
something that probably gets done the other way around. May God bless you both for coming.
Oh,
May
well,
God
thank
bless
you.
our
Thank
troops,
you.
the people
Yes.
who are here. May God
Absolutely.
bless the United States of America. And to you folks out there, thank you for listening. And any
Thank you.
donations, send them to where
Yes.
Sister Linda told you to.
Right.
Thank you
All
again.
right. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.